is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by Bryce Saturn and Evan Daniels from Gravity Hills, weighing in at 350 pounds, Charles R3 Cassis!
R3 Cassis was flanked by the other members of the Agents of Chaos. This matchup with Avalon is very personal for the monstrous R3. He chased Avalon all the way to Irvine, California to make this match official.
Chased him through the years, that bitter heart of R3 looking for retribution and revenge really made Peter Avalon's life miserable, and now it comes to this.
2 to 3 years waiting for this fight, and every day, if you're R3, has added fuel to the fire.
And introducing his opponent from Carson City, Nevada, weighing in at 181 pounds, Pretty Peter Avalon!
Pretty Peter Avalon, so much history in the United Wrestling Network. Was in the first ever match on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, as it was known then, against none other than Colt Boom Boom Cabana. Long reign as the Heritage Champion, was a red carpet rumble winner, multiple-time tag team champion, parlayed that and got his way all the way to All Elite Wrestling, but could not shake the shadow that is, a big shadow that is R3 Cassis.
Yeah, Pretty Peter Avalon, not going to be anything pretty about this Grand Canyon clash and a Grand Canyon-sized chasm in the mentality of these two. For Peter Avalon, he's moved on, but for R3, he's never been able to get past their past issue.
R3's got a chip on that big shoulder there, Gilbert.
Boulder.
Anger, rage, contempt, whatever you want to call it, those are the words that come to mind when I see R3, Charles Cassis. This is a moment that he has been waiting for years.
Savoring it right now.
Can you imagine every day it possesses your thought?
It's just been festering and building.
Every day that R3's been thinking, what am I going to do when I get my hands on Peter Avalon?
He's been savoring it, not sure this is the start that he had in mind. Coming up empty, and Peter Avalon taking it to R3 in the early going.
Avalon elusive so far, but he's got him right by the neck. Does R3 coming in with bad intentions, gets that big body moving. Peter Avalon was known as producer Peter Avalon in Championship Wrestling from Arizona. He had a lot of power on that show. Sometimes he made life a little hard for R3.
Sometimes?
And look out here, R3 at one point was the Arizona State Champion, relinquished the title for this opportunity, an opportunity he never got until now, a shot at Avalon. But Avalon is going to find himself in the fight of his life here.
So I know that Peter Avalon's a mainstay, an OG, and a fan favorite, but what you just described to me,
Avalon's
R3's got a
out.
legitimate axe to grind as Avalon flies.
Suicide dive there by Pretty Peter, and this is turned into an absolute war. It sounds to me like you might be, siding a bit with R3 and giving some, some validation to what he wants here, but he also went to Irvine and blatantly sneak attacked Peter Avalon along with the Agents of Chaos.
Listen,
let it go.
I'm not saying that Cassis is a fully innocent victim in all this. He repeatedly cost PPA chances at the Arizona State Championship. There were post-match, there were sneak attacks. I'm not calling him innocent. I'm just saying that I understand his position.
Now the hatred turned to toxicity and poisoned the heart of R3. Might have been in the moral high ground. I say no longer. Avalon was looking for the high ground, but R3 lying in wait, and that evil juggernaut just slammed Peter Avalon.
That's a long way up, and it feels like an even longer way down if you're Peter Avalon.
Had him by the throat, did R3, a massive choke slam all the way off the top, and closed the gap in a big way. Only one way you're going to settle this, and it's right here where it should be settled, in Arizona in the Grand Canyon Clash. Fall away slam by the big man.
Things looking grim for Peter Avalon, looking like a man trying to hold back an avalanche. Peter Avalon on the outside, and now this is everything I think R3 had in mind. when he wanted this matchup to finally come to pass.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but in 2019, R3 was undefeated in championship wrestling from Arizona. He was leading into this contest, this match with Peter Avalon. R3 really blames Peter in not having this match for his career not being where he wanted it to be, because we saw what happened with Peter.
Right.
What came after 2019?
It's a match that never happened. It was supposed to happen at an event titled Grand Canyon Clash. The pandemic happened, of course, then the United Wrestling Network consolidating its brands to one show. And so R3 never got that opportunity.
Here's a question I got to ask. In R3's mind, do you think that if he would have defeated Peter Avalon, that he could have been on the AEW roster? Do you think that that's what's behind his grit? I'm asking.
Quite possibly.
I'm sure that has entered into his own mind. I think he has delusions of grandeur a little bit with that and wants to play the blame game. A lot of people need a villain in their story.
But he uses Peter as a scapegoat. Every time Agents of Chaos are defeated, he said, it's all your fault. It's all your fault,
Yes.
Peter Avalon. He uses Avalon as a crutch, as an excuse for everything.
A scapegoat for everything that's gone wrong in his life. And that's why I say that, you know, that hatred turned to toxicity in his heart. And whereas Avalon was able to move on as a new man, R3 is bearing the brunt of it now up over the top rope.
Isn't it kind of easy to move on if you're on national television every week? You got the better end of the deal.
Fair point. What a high flying cross body from Peter Avalon. Boy, he needed that in a bad way. Follows up with a drop kick. Avalon starting to string it together.
Avalon showing his athleticism, why he was such a long-reigning Heritage champion, now scores with the DDT. He's got the big guy bewildered, goes for the cover, couldn't put him away. What a string of offense there, a flurry by Avalon, and yet it still wasn't enough. Cross body, and took him head first to the canvas. The big guy is tough.
Double tough. Avalon looked frustrated for a moment, but now sizing up R3 again. Kick finding the mark. Still on his feet is R3. Went for it maybe once too often. R3 caught him and just pulled the rug out from underneath Peter Avalon.
Certainly did. Charges in. Big forearm cannon job there by R3. And now it's Avalon to the outside and trying to find his senses. And when R3, a man possessed, he's capable of some dangerous stuff. And this is not where you want to be if you're Avalon, guys, out there on the apron.
Dangerous, dangerous territory. Both men dueling on the apron. I don't like Avalon's chances to win.
Oh, no.
R3 got him.
He's looking for that total fatality, but he's going to do it on the apron or to the floor. Down to the apron, and down goes Avalon in a heap. And he doesn't have any wingmen, and all the wingmen's horses and all the wingmen's men can't come back to put PPA back together again.
I've been told, guys, the apron is the hardest part of the ring, where all the steel and the boards come together, and there was no give. There was no break there. Nothing for Peter Avalon. This could be it.
Goes for the cover here, and it's not enough. Avalon digs deep. This is personal, and both competitors want this one.
Just able to get the shoulder up was Peter Avalon, and now you see the frustration coming over the visage of R3. Thought that was for certain all she wrote in this Grand Canyon Clash, but no, more to be done. Peter Avalon, though, in dire straits.
Well, Gilbert, no give in that area of the ring, no give in the will for both of these to win, both these men to win this very personal battle.
The final chapter in this feud, the Grand Canyon Clash. It ends here. One man will stand tall at the end of it all. Who's it gonna be? Who's got more left in the tank, R3 or Peter Avalon? Right now, it looks like Cassis.
I hope the ring holds up to this. R3 again. We saw it on the apron, now looking for that fatality again off the top, but Avalon fighting for his very life in there.
Avalon was on the precipice of disaster, but able to knock R3 off his footing. Peter Avalon! Majestic, will it be 3? Yes!
Here is your winner, Peter Avalon!
R3's dream match turns into a nightmare. Peter Avalon stands tall.
But who will be standing tall with the world title on the line? Champion Limelight, challenger Kingston, still to come.
Can't get enough Memphis Wrestling? You need Memphis Wrestling Plus. Subscribe today at memphiswrestlingplus.com.